Hola, mi gente. Joe Burrow back with you at the Credit Card Connection. I'm so glad you can join me. Well, mi gente, for the past 2 weeks, I've been putting different polls up in my community tab on the channel to kind of get a feel for what's on your mind, not only to let me know what you're planning on doing or what you're thinking of, and just to get your thoughts and ideas about what's out there in the credit card world, in banks, and so on. So I put up 3 different polls in the past 12 or 13 days. And what I found from all of them, it was super interesting and actually polarizing to some extent with certain topics that I put up. So the topics were, the first one was, which bank do you trust the most or do you use? That was shocking when I'll tell you the number on that. Then it was whether you're team cashback or team points and miles. Then the last one was, and this was another polarizing one, how much money are you willing to spend in annual fees to get the bang for your buck that you perceive yourself to get benefit from? Okay. And I'm going to give you those numbers and it's going to surprise you with the responses that I got. And I want to thank everybody first and foremost for taking the time to actually go and respond to these questions and surveys and things that I do, because you're taking the time to do it and it's benefiting me and the channel. So I appreciate you for doing that. So before I jump into it, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe. If any of this is interesting to you, I appreciate it, guys. Trying to get to 4,000 subs. I'm crawling my way there, but with your help, I will get there. Thanks so much. So let's jump into it. So the first one about the banks. So the question was, which bank do you use or trust the most? I had people commenting, I don't trust any of them. I don't use those banks. I don't use legacy banks. I go online. It was really cool. I mean, I had a lot of people that told me they have 5 or 6 different banks and some of their banks were smaller. I had people that told me they use credit unions. So getting those comments, I found really eye-opening and just, it made me think of, wow, I guess in the world we are today where 20, 30 years ago, you had a certain number of banks that kind of everybody went to and took their paper check to deposit and get the cash out and so on. That world has long gone and changed. But the number one bank that people trust or use the most was Chase with 69%. That's huge because I had 4 banks up. The second one surprised me a little bit because given their history, I was like, I thought they were going to come in dead last. But Capital One Bank came in at 15%. And then the last 2 banks, which were Bank of America and Citibank, tied for last with 8%. So Chase blew all of them out of the water. Combined, Chase just destroyed them. Now, some people tell me that with Chase, they just felt they're the largest bank in America. They really haven't had those issues that other banks and other issuers have had in the past where things were, accounts were being closed or that points were deducted for credit cards and different things like that, or that they were having issues where accounts they had no longer existed. So this was surprising that Chase, I thought it would be a little closer. I thought maybe Bank of America would have come in second. But right now, according to the 216 votes online, Chase was the clear winner. The next poll was, and this again was a landslide, all right? Which is your favorite redemption with your current credit card setup, okay? And by redemption, I mean, and your credit card setup was if you were into cashback, so if you had cashback cards as a part of your setup, or if you were more into travel and things of that nature where you could transfer points. So if you were into the points and miles game. Okay, now you have a lot of creators out there that do the points and miles, but then you have some that are just really team cash back like RJ Financial, right? So these are the numbers that I got. 86% out of 176 votes were for points and miles. 86%. 14% said cash back. And in their comments, they were mentioning how they like to get more cents per point, or others felt that you could really get more use out of transfer partners and things of that nature, where cashback, you kind of either could only use it as a statement credit and so on. So this one, points and miles, 86% of the people that voted are into the points and miles game. And the number was what threw me. I thought it would have been maybe 60-40. I thought points and miles would win because a lot of the creators, we do the travel, we show how we fly in this and we stay there. And, the Maldives is always a spot, right? So, I knew that they would kind of come out on top, but not by that margin. Then the third, this one was just next level. And I'm going to say it, ridiculous with something, because we all complain about how much credit cards are charging to give us the privilege of using their cards, right? Now, we all like a good 0 annual fee card that gives you some good multipliers or good cash back up front. But what my question was to people, how much money in annual fees are you willing to pay for a credit card? Do you think it's necessary to pay high annual fees for certain benefits and perks? So the scale that I gave was $0 to $99, $100 to $250. So that would be more of the mid-tier cards for those of us in this space that do it. So you're looking at your Chase Sapphire Preferreds, your Amex Gold, Citi Strata Premier, Wells Fargo Autograph Journey, the Capital One Venture cards, and so on. So that gives you that idea. They fall in that range. Then the last category was $300 to $695. $695, I guess you guys figure that one out. That's usually for the American Express Platinum card, right? So those are the top tier cards that are kind of lumped together there. Now, I thought when I put this up, and this moved the people because I had 243 people vote, I thought it would probably fall in the $100 to $250 range, kind of giving you that mid-tier travel card or a card that has protections and things like that. That's where I thought this vote was going to lie. These are the numbers, guys. $0 to $99 a year, 18% of the people. So I'm guessing those that were in that bracket may have been a lot of the teen cash backs, or, some of the cards that don't have as many benefits or perks that fall into that category, but 18%. Now, with only 2 more categories to go, 18% is a low number. Here's the one that I picked as the winner, right? From $100 to $250, the mid-tier range, only 12% of the people said that that's what they do. They're willing to do the $100 to $250 range for your gold cards, for your Strata Premiers, for your Sapphire Preferreds. That's shockingly low for me. Now, that means the last one from $300 to $695, 70% of the people said that they prefer to pay that amount because they feel they're getting that amount back in benefits and perks. Now, I'm going to read some of the comments, so forgive me if I go up and down, because the comments and the amounts, I have over $2,300 and something dollars in fees a year that I pay. But that's over 20 something cards. When I read to you some of the numbers that people pay in annual fees, you're going to be like, what? So I had some people say that if they're paying for travel either way, might as well prepay and get some benefits out of it. That was my boy Xavier. Then I had some people say 95 is the highest. I'll go for my, Chase Sapphire Preferred. Those big coupon books don't work for me. Some other people, I'd only pay $764 in annual fees. So I guess it was a combination of lower annual fee cards. Some people, like my boy Bruce Lee Credit, $95 to $2,000 if the perks are phenomenal and on the higher end cards for me. Then I had someone who put out here, and because they could put it, they put it out here, I'm going to tell you. My boy Leo Prieto, $6,100 in total annual fees for 15 premium cards. Okay. So, and I get it. If you travel a lot, if you have a lifestyle that does that, or a business that allows for that, if you're going to travel and pay that money anyway, you might as well, like Xavier said, get some benefits out of it. But imagine that's an average of about $550 a month in credit card fees alone to have the privilege of having that card in your pocket. But I have people telling me $1,700, $2,000, $1,000. So I say all of this to tell you that many people have so many opinions, and really it can be one way or the other. And this one blew me away because I really didn't think, especially how expensive things are now, that so many people would be willing to pay so much more in annual fees because they feel they're getting a certain benefit out of it, right? So I want to thank everyone for taking the time to answer these questions and putting up the data points and putting up their personal info to share with all of us. Because, then it kind of lights that fire under me to say, okay, this is what I'm going to apply for next. This is what I'm going to look for next, so that I can bring back to you to see on my level, on my, personal level, whether it's worth it or not, whether that high annual fee of the Amex Platinum at $695 is still worth it in 2024. Or if I should scale back the cards and maybe not pass $250, because you can get great cards for under $695. We all know that. So I want to thank you, mi gente, for engaging in these conversations, for going onto the polls. Please check them out all the time. I post them constantly on my channel. Please consider subscribing and check out the links I have below. I thank you for being here. As always, you could choose to be anywhere else, but you chose to be here with me today. But more than anything else, like I always end my videos, I thank you for giving me the privilege of your time. Until next time, mi gente, take care.